Come on in. Aren't you happy to be back here? Summer's over, surfing's over, sleeping till noon. You guys, you look pretty alert. No? Yes? Good morning? Good morning? Okay, good. We got a good morning? There we go. Okay. Here's the most important thing to know, is that it's English, first of all, yeah. Some of you love it. I can see you're ready. Some of you are thinking, I'd rather put a sword in my eyeball, any of those plastic swords. But the other thing we have to know is that sometimes it's just about having fun.
My friend Daniel is a dedicated teacher. He started in an interesting year for an English teacher, 1984. He retired in 2020, the year of COVID. Also an interesting year, but a sad one. Our country lost 600,000 souls, and many of us were robbed of the chance to celebrate important milestones. We decided to commemorate Daniel's retirement in our own way. I filmed Daniel in his classroom the day before his school's drive-by graduation, packing his belongings and reminiscing about his years of teaching. Recalling how Daniel loved acting in our local community theater, I asked him to show me what the first day of a new school year would be like for one of his students. Daniel had two special trademarks: his plastic swords, which were left behind following a school production of Romeo and Juliet, and most importantly, his beloved therapy dog, Toby, that Daniel often brought to the classroom as part of his holistic approach to teaching. Daniel, by his own admission, had a bit of a love-hate relationship with teaching. He wasn't especially fond of the administrivia and often mundane detail of the craft, but he loved the act of teaching. He loved his students, and they loved him. I impulsively asked Daniel to give a valedictory speech to his many students across the years. The resulting performance, which follows, entirely spontaneous and shot in one take, would make Robin Williams proud. It is an eloquent expression of the powerful impact which teaching has on the teacher.
Well, this is our last class together, and you are going to be going into the world starting in 1984, which was the first time you were all with me. And now it's 2020, and you are going into the world again. And I'm going into the world. This is my graduation as well. And it's been a really good run. One of my favorite books is Lonesome Dove. There's a character in there, Gus. And Gus is dying, joyfully in some ways. And he turns to his best friend and he says, "Quite a party, Woodrow." And this has been quite a party. It really has. If you were with me in 1984, you're getting up there. If you were with me this last year, then you're 15 or 16 years old. And you're just going into your junior year. You've taught me a lot this run, this party. I've probably learned more than you, and I know you find that hard to believe. I've learned along the way some things that I think we as humans want to learn. Compassion. You've taught me how to look at you, and even though I may not agree with you and I may not like your behavior and I may not like the way you aren't doing the things you're supposed to do, I've learned to be able to look at you as someone I need to help. I also have learned that the help I give you is not always as an English teacher, as a language arts teacher. The help I give you is as a human being, some guy, me, who's gone through life just like you are, made a lot of mistakes like you have and will, and yet on my best days, those are the days I can come over to your desk and help you with whatever it is you need help with. or look at you and realize you're just not having a good day. And my best days are when I see that. Those have been my best days as a teacher, is when I've looked at you and realized you're not having a great day, and it has nothing to do with English. It has to do with getting through life as a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old. And on that best day, on that best day, I've been able to kneel down next to your desk and say what's going on, and then just wait. And say, do you need to go outside and talk? And then we do. We'll stand outside the room. We'll stand outside in the hallway, and we'll talk. And you'll tell me what's going on. And I won't tell you what to do. I won't necessarily have an answer for you. But what will happen is that you'll realize that there's someone in a school who is capable of listening to you. In my class, you may not become a great reader. You may not learn to love writing or speaking or even English. But maybe you can go out of here and bring something into the world that makes somebody's life a little better for one day or 2 days, or maybe change their life. I like building things. I have a shop in the garage, and what I'm going to do in retirement is build things. And I sit there in the garage and I'll have a cup of tea and I'll look at it and I'll think about, wow, this is what I did today and this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I can see what I did and I see the end result. Can't see that here. In all the years I've been teaching, I don't see the results all the time. Because a teacher, any kind of teacher, doesn't know what's going to happen once you guys leave the classroom. And the thing about being a teacher is that when you've been doing it for a while, you have people who come back and talk to you, or you meet them, or you see their parents, or whatever. And I've been lucky enough to see some of the structures that I've built have been sturdy and have had those people, structures, if we're going to keep the metaphor going, come back and say, you built me well. You added strength to my life. You helped my son. You helped my daughter. They don't say like all the time anymore because you smacked the desk with your plastic sword every time they did. Or you call me 15 years later and say, thank you for never kicking me out of class even though you knew I was drunk. And you told me to sit and listen and stay, and you said, here's a place to go. These are phone numbers that you can call. And one day I did. And I'm calling to thank you because now I don't do that anymore and I'm going to be an English teacher. And again, I say that not to pat myself on the back, but because other people have done those kinds of things for me. And they changed my life. I can't imagine having done anything besides being a teacher. I can't imagine it. I never planned to be a teacher, really. But sometimes the things that you don't plan are the things that are the best. And this has been the best. The absolute best. I couldn't have imagined a better life than the one I've had in this career. And I only can thank you for that. Because on the worst days, it still is the best job I could have ever had. So, thank you for that. And now I'm going to go build furniture, and then I will run into you on the streets, or I will run into your parents, and I'll know that for years and years and years, some of the things that I did, some of those talks we had outside in the hallway will help a little bit. So thank you all, and I love you all.